holds a world conference addressing what played out at in the U.S. courts generally. Because that has raised a lot of issues still concerning the World Press Conference. Tinubu, join me in fighting for justice. Atiku begs Obi and Kwankwaso. Yes, Atiku calls for protection of elective position after uncovering Tinubu's forged certificate. And still concerning that conversation, I snubbed governors. Tinubu sent to beg me after election. I would not stop fighting until Supreme Court rules, Atiku Abubakar says. And then, still in that conversation, Tinubu forged certificate. Many companies sell bogus academic documents online. This is according to, or this statement is credited to the Chicago State University registrar. And then, still in the news this evening, Supreme Court fixes December 15th to deliver judgment in Nnamdi Kanu's case. Lagos, these are the hot topics, and welcome to the Evening Rush 90.3 Voice of the People FM. My name is Precious Enyi. As always, it's a delight to be with you, and I'm excited to be with you today. I think I have a bit more energy today than other days, perhaps because I have my Monday, Thursday tonic in the house. Good evening, Mr. Darlington, and welcome.
Good evening, pretty precious.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Just that.
Ado, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Ado. Okay, you are okay. Okay. All right. No problem. All right. Let's take a little break, Lagos. We'll come back to begin dissecting the conversations one at a time. Stay with us. This is the Evening Rush 90.3 Voice of the People FM.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream, delights in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, Lagos, you are welcome back. 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Welcome to the Evening Rush. So on the hot topic this evening, we told you quite a platter of stories. First, we did tell you that Atiku holds a world press conference addressing what played out in the U.S. courts in his fight to unveil, according to him, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And then, of course, outfall of that is Tinubu join me in fighting for justice. Atiku begs Obi and Kwankwaso. Record, Atiku calls for protection of elective position after uncovering Tinubu's forged certificate. And then you still have other headlines surrounding that. I snubbed governors Tinubu sent to beg me after election. I will not stop fighting until Supreme Court rules. Atiku Abubakar. In another breath, he also did say that he would accept whatever judgments that the Supreme Court issues out in this matter. And then in another development or in another case entirely, Supreme Court fixes December 15th to deliver judgment in Nnamdi Kanu's case. Nigeria, let's begin to take these conversations one at a time. So first, I would see if I can quickly read out Atiku Abubakar's full message to you. It's quite lengthy, but let's see if we could just, quickly, skim through them, and then we'll begin to take other. The skimming through the conversation practically handles all the headlines that is associated with the conversation, right? So let's get straight to it. All right, addressing the gentleman of the press, he says, fellow citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I consider it important to address and report to you today on issues that define the future of elective government and illegitimate leadership in our country, Nigeria. I added in Nigeria. Political leadership and active citizenship matter because they are ways through which we all work together to build a country that works for all who live in it. Our country is bigger than any of us, and its standing in the world affects the fate of all who come from or live in it. Its standing in the world affects the fate of all who come from and live in it. Did you hear that? That seems deep for me. Right? Okay. Then he further says, as leaders, it is our duty to advance the well-being of all our people and of the country. For this purpose, my generation worked hard to return the soldiers to the barracks and to defend the right of the people to elect and establish for ourselves a legitimate government. Our elections are established and governed by law and founded on the constitution from which leadership and government in Nigeria alone derive their legitimacy. Now, the people look up to us as leaders to respect those rules and when necessary to defend them. This is what brings us here. Today, we are called upon again as a people to uphold and defend the ground rules of elective government in our country. The Constitution prescribes the requirements for those who seek the highest elective office in the land. It should not take months or indeed decades for the institutions concerned to be able to do their work in establishing the credibility of any certificates presented by candidates for public offices. We undertook this journey at great cost and for important reasons. Now, the ground rules for legitimate governance in our country need to be upheld, and the reputation of our country is at stake. That affects everyone, Nigerians everywhere, but the ones that think that you have other citizenship, it does affect you too. Perhaps that's what he's trying to say. And then moving further in that conversation, he also did say, I am a Democrat by conviction and a citizen of a country that I love. The issues at stake in this case requires us once more to rededicate ourselves to both the country and our constitution. Now we entrust these facts to us, all as citizens and as leaders of the institutions charged with interpreting our constitution. I should thank the lawyers both in Nigeria and in the United States who have assisted us in bringing clarity and definitive answers to these issues that appear to have defied our institutions for nearly a quarter of a century. I also want to extend my gratitude to Nigerian citizens and friends of Nigeria, both within and beyond the shores of our country, for their patience as we have sought to find the facts and established the truth. I wish to pay tribute to the human rights activist Chief Gani Fawemi San, late, who inspired us on this path of discovery. Now, he can truly rest in peace in the assurance that what he started about 23 years ago has come to fruition. Gani's vindication today gives credence to the saying that no matter how fast a lie runs, the truth will someday overtake it. Former American President Thomas Jefferson once said, if I had to choose between government without newspapers and newspapers without government, I would hesitate to choose the latter. That is to say, I would hesitate to choose newspapers without government. That means, this is just my interpretation, political office holders should be able to subject themselves to scrutiny. If I have that right, or I understand that right. Now, moving forward in the conversation so I don't derail you further. It says, from exposing the Watergate scandal and unraveling the dubious certificate of politicians, journalists have maintained external vigilance by bridging the gap and stepping in when other arms of government failed. And then he continued with a statement and says, it is for these reasons that I commendation must be given to David Hunde, an independent journalist whose extraordinary work and those of many more young people like him has become a source of inspiration. Special thanks must be given to the millions of Nigerian youth and citizen journalists too, who continue to put out the truth online even when no one is listening. Indeed, the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. They have put the country first in their firm commitment to unravel the truth and hold leaders accountable. This gives me the hope. So he says, all right, I do hope that, okay, so this gives me, this gives me the hope that we have worthy partners in the struggle to reclaim the country we call home. Moving forward, the statement further reads, this quest is not for or about Atiku Abubakar. It is a quest for the enthronement of truth, morality, and accountability in our public affairs. In line with this, therefore, I am calling on all well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of thought, our religious leaders, our traditional leaders, our community leaders, our political leaders, and in particular, Governors Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso of the NNPP, and the leaders of every political party in Nigeria, and indeed every single person who loves this country, as I do, and who wishes nothing but the best for this country, as I do too. So join me in this campaign to enshrine probity, accountability, and the basic principles of justice, morality, and uprightness in our country and in our government. This is a task for each and every one of us. Thank you for listening. May God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he did say. Mr. Darlington, before we go to what his late counsel, Atiku's counsel, Kalu said, let's go straight into, take a peek at some of the things that Atiku had stated in this conversation. I think I was caught by the second paragraph really, where he said political leadership and active citizenship matter because they are ways through which we all call. I think no. I think this is a paragraph. Our country is bigger than any of us, and its standing in the world affects the fate of all who come from it and live in it. That one, it touches me. Like, I just do wish that everyone in political office will begin to have that consciousness that whatever they do or do not do may affect not just them as individuals, but every single citizen of Nigeria. But let me have you say in this conversation, chiming in, what you think about his statement.
Yeah, in fact, everywhere within Nigeria should be a program letter. Because this matter has defied the solution according to a statement for many years. And why it is so is because of the distance. Do you know how much it will take for you to go to US, stay there, book in a hotel, follow this matter, file cases in court and all that, hire lawyers? So it is because of the enormous resources involved. That is why most people did not go far when they started this campaign. But thank God she was able to, at least something has been identified now, definitely, that the certificate given to INEC was never issued by SG. All this noise about Tinubu graduated, he did not graduate. My dear, it is even fraud on its own because you entered with a fraudulent certificate. The government college in Lagos never existed at the time you said you graduated there. The one from Central West Bank or what, that polytechnic in America. The person there is a lady, and the social security number there is not your own because you are not a US citizen. If not, you are now carrying a dual citizenship, and you have denied that you are never a dual citizen. The other one from Adego or whatever, it is not in existence. So CSU they are trying to exonerate their lack of due diligence, because they should have investigated those documents that brought him to their school. And if those documents are defective, then every other thing is defective. All this noise that he graduated, we don't want to hear that. How did he enter your school? If he entered it through fraudulent means and graduated, are you going to accept it? Precious, maybe you may not know, there is one Obla, who was a presidential advisor on recovery of properties. He was with presidency. It was discovered. Look at how far he has gone. Even at law school, he read law and all that. But it was discovered that the WAEC certificate he used to gain admission is fraudulent. It's faulty. They had to remove him from office, and I'm sure NBA was even looking at that matter. There are so many cases like that. As long as your point of entry is defective, whatever you achieve from that entry is equally defective. We know of students who enter some schools, especially this our local schools here. Every year they will bribe some people to remove their file. They will not discover. But on the day of graduation, where your file must be before the Senate and everybody, if your file is not there, you will not graduate. These students will be hiding their file, doing all sorts of things. But on the day of graduation, if you did not meet the criteria to even come into that, you will never graduate. So how did they not accept a student who came into their school with a defective credential, and they are telling us he schooled there, he graduated there? That school is speaking from both sides of their mouth. I'm telling you, if I were at that school, I would have. And you know why Tinubu did not apply for reissue? Because he doesn't have the moral authority to go there and ask them for certificate. Maybe from there they will not start investigation. That's why he did not go there. All this issue that they issued in certificate, it was lost. You cannot tell me that when this thing started, and Tinubu knew that he was coming for presidency, he should have done the due diligence by going to look for that certificate. They say he did not apply, and I know why he did not apply. Because he doesn't have
Mr. Darlington, you cannot be speaking definitively. You're not him.
No.
And you're not the school that you cannot, probably may not know.
Look, from the
you sound like you're searching, like you're in his mind.
From the evidence we have now.
From the evidence.
Okay. From the evidence we have now.
Okay.
From the evidence we have now, that's what I'm speaking on. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
Because if that school he said he graduated from, that took him to CSU, does not exist, then please tell me, how did he not get admission there? Is that not a genuine question for you and I to ask? And why should the school admit him? Is it because of money? CSU have not told us what they did in this particular issue. The only reason why they even issued what they issued is because the court said so. If not, they wouldn't have come forth. Because all along, they were dribbling everybody until the court to say, come and swear on oath. That was why they started all this thing they are saying. We are talking of he graduated his school there, but how did he enter? Nobody have told me how. Is it not important? How you get admission in the university is more important than when you left the university. It's very important. Up to today, everybody, he graduated. Even his supporters are telling us he graduated. How did he enter that school? How? All the documents he took to that school, are they genuine? Please, are they genuine? So on what ground will you now be telling us he graduated there? The school say he graduated there. That is playing to the gallery. The school is not being definite here. They are trying to exonerate themselves because everybody would have asked them, so you admitted somebody with this certificate, this document, you admitted him in your school. That is what the school is running away from. That's what they are running away from. That's why nobody wants to go there. How he came into that school, nobody has told us. Every time he graduated, even how he graduated. We know some people who are intellectual mercenaries. You can hire them to sit for exam for you. You can hire them to be representing you in that school. As long as you can pay cash, they can do it for you. Your name will be there, but you are not in that school. All this is what is playing out now. So I thank Atiku for what he has discovered. Because all along, nobody believed it. And that is why we have been saying it that You cannot hide the truth for too long. Look, anybody blaming Atiku, ask yourself, if it is the other way around, you don't need anybody to tell you what Tinubu would have done. He would have done worse things now. Atiku has been a gentleman in this matter. He had tried. He followed it diligently and legally.
So can we look at some of the issues Atiku raised? You would recall that in the past, some of the president's aide or presidential aide, as a matter of fact, presidential media aide did state that Atiku has betrayed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave him shelter when he was having issues with Obasanjo, and that he even gave him the platform of his party to run as president in 2007, and that is this the way to pay back a man who did this kind of thing to you by embarrassing him internationally? But Atiku in his speech did say that Tinubu actually is indebted to him, that he never betrayed him. So would you like to chime in on that?
You see, there are matters that goes beyond friendship. In this particular matter, you are talking of electoral battle, and you are fighting a battle. The question is, if it is the other way around, will Tinubu fold his arms and say he's my friend? You and I know very well he will not. I don't see what I
don't know. So I cannot know very well because I don't know what's in the heart of a man.
Has he forgiven anybody? I mean, has Tinubu forgiven anybody? Mention one person he forgave throughout his political career. Mention one person. Did we not beg him here to leave Ambode? Did he agree? So if you are talking of how you help somebody, but you and I know very well that Tinubu was trying to build something around Atiku. All that thing he was doing, this presidential election has proved that yes, all the people he has been helping and all that, it is all about his political ambition. He was not doing it as Father Christmas. The Godfather does not do such a thing. He doesn't. Go and read the 48 Laws of Power. He doesn't. We are now seeing it that all of them, all the so-called favor, it's all about his political ambition, nothing else. So telling us now that he did this for the Atiku, was Atiku the only person that Obasanjo dealt with? Why didn't he cut their friendship? Please answer me. Why didn't he cut the friendship of other people that Obasanjo dealt with, who are now in political limbo? When it was reported that what's it called, Obasanjo forced Awudogbe to resign as the PDP chairman. Was Tinubu not around? Why didn't he go to him and give him succor? You can see.
So going back to that statement that Atiku made about leaders having the consciousness that whatever they do or their deeds, their do's and whatever they do or do not do may affect not just the image of the country, but the entire citizens of the country, both those in Nigeria and those that are not in Nigeria. Do you think that our politics is now ripe for us to begin to have leaders with that consciousness, or do you think we've always had leaders with that kind of consciousness?
We have started. I'm sure some people are going to look at their certificate and their credentials. I am very, very sure that people are now, they have gone to their wardrobe and be looking at their certificate if they cross their T's and dot their I's. I'm sure of that. So it is one man that destroys something. It is another one man that will correct it. That's the truth. Things don't just happen. Somebody must start it. And the way it is now, Atiku he's blazing the trail. This is not his second time. This is not his first time. Remember, this same Atiku, he helped us to stop Obasanjo on his third term bid. Remember? And that was where they fell out. And the people that now gave Atiku succor, they know that it will help them their presidential ambition. Because if Obasanjo had gone for third term, it would have dislocated so many things. The political equation would have been dislocated. So those who gave Atiku succor, they know why they did that. That's what I'm telling you. So what he did, it has brought consciousness in Nigerians.
So do you see on Atiku's call for Peter Obi and Kwankwaso and the rest, all political leaders, political party leaders and citizens to join him in fighting for justice, do you see Peter Obi, for instance, and Kwankwaso aligning with him in this fight? And in what ways do you think they are likely to fight with him? Fight along with him?
It is at least to give him moral support. They can put a word or two in support of what he's doing, because it's all about saving Nigeria. It's all about saving Nigeria, and I know if we know about that person will do that, Peter Obi will help, because that has been his mantra, a new Nigeria. So if this thing will bring a new Nigeria, I don't see why Peter Obi will not support him. I don't see why. Kwankwaso may be dilly-dally because he's looking for favor from APC, but Peter Obi, he will definitely offer a word or two in defense of what Atiku is pursuing, because it will help to create a new Nigeria where we will have decency in governance.
All right, so let's take a little listen to what Atiku's legal counsel said concerning the deposition and the document that they have hold of at the moment. Atiku in his statement did not actually address those issues. A lot of people said, okay, perhaps because he's not a lawyer, so it's not in his place to begin to categorize the documents and states what's missing and what's not missing in them. But we had his counsels address that issue, or his counsel rather address that issue. So let's take a listen to some of the high points of what they noted in that address. Take a listen.
On the certificates issued or released by Chicago State University to the lawyers of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. These are the documents. One, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu forged the certificate he presented to INEC. That's one. Two, that the qualifying certificate from Southwest College to Chicago State University bears a female, indicating that that document does not belong to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Three, the Chicago State University admission application form has a claim that Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended Government College, Lagos, and graduated in 1970, when indeed the school was established in 1974. The same document has it that the owner of that document is a black American, and the document Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to INEC, he denied having dual citizenship, which means it does not belong to him. Then the same document, oral deposition, says that the Bola A. Tinubu is Ahmed, but the NYSC certificate Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to INEC has Adekunle. I don't know where the Adekunle and the Ahmed emerged from. So, on the second arm of your question, of what use will it be in the Supreme Court, it is very, very clear that from decided authorities, the Supreme Court has held that they can accept a party to adduce fresh evidence as long as certain conditions are met. And from what transpired in the proceedings in U.S. courts, that condition has already been met. So, as we speak, our law is very clear that a party at fault cannot be allowed to enjoy the fruit of his illegality. That is
All right, Mr. Darlington, you heard that. So first of all, let's address the issue of the Supreme Court. You know, a lot of people have been wary of the fact that, oh, it looks like the Supreme Court, especially some people from the president's team have said that, well, whatever you people are struggling for now, it's even useless because the Supreme Court will not pay attention to it. And you and I had also mentioned, I think in this show, where we did say that there is also a precedent to that because in, I think, Hope Uzodinma's case, he was able to tender an evidence in the Supreme Court, a new evidence in the Supreme Court that, you know, assisted in his victory. So considering what Kalu said, Atiku's counsel, do you see the Supreme Court, you know, tilting towards the direction, especially because he said that the Supreme Court can actually admit new evidence if they follow all, you know, proper requirements, and he said so far they have met all the requirements. What do you think?
This matter is so big, so important, so grievous that the Supreme Court had to tinker with their Supreme Court rule. They had to. All this knowing that they can't bring in new evidence, they can't do this. Let me ask you, and I want my listeners to listen very well. If a man had been convicted for murder and he was sent to jail to go and wait the hangman's loose, to lose of the hangman in the prisons, and while the man was waiting, the Supreme Court have ruled though the man is waiting for the to serve his sentence and all that. Then along the line something happened. The real murderer now shows up, maybe in another case or something, and he now come out to own up and even make up that his conscience is troubling him, that the man they sent to jail is not the right person, that he's one that did it and this evidence comes up. Are you telling me that any court at all, whether Supreme Court or whatever, they will now overlook that new evidence and say the innocent man that they have sent to jail, he should go and die? Is it possible? There is a new evidence.
As much as I know about the court of law, it is better, you know, to release a criminal than to let one innocent person suffer. Yes.
So with this thing now, you have seen evidence staring at you in the face. Are you not telling me that if the lawyer now go to the same court and say, my lord, this is what we have seen, or this is what is happening, are you telling me that because no, we have ruled, we have ruled, our laws are cast on stone? Is the law of medicine and the patient, it cannot be revoked? Is there any law like that in the whole world? Even in that US, we have seen people whom they compensated for jailing them wrongly because new evidence emerged. So all the people that are telling me this, I will not believe. Even if all the whole lawyers in this world come to tell me, I will not believe. I am saying it categorically. It is not possible. This matter has to do with our nation, our country, our nation. So the Supreme Court will look at it from that angle. It has to do with the image of Nigeria. This thing is not about Tinubu. Let anybody, people should not deceive themselves. By the time the ripple effect of this matter will start coming out, these same people now who are supporting, they will find a way to even blame you. They will blame you, who are now saying that this thing is wrong. They will not agree that they said it. They will not agree that they supported it. So we are saying that for the sanity of this country, something should be done. The Supreme Court should admit those evidence. It's important.
All right. So let's take a look at another thing that Abubakar said in his statement, where he calls for the protection of elective positions after uncovering, after all of this. How do you think in what ways do you think we can protect our elective positions, considering the kind of, elections that we run in Nigeria?
It is for the National Assembly. This same National Assembly, in fact, they have disappointed us. I thought that before now they would have waded into this matter. It is for them to now tinker with this electoral law, because that is where this thing started. If this thing had been done properly ab initio, we wouldn't be going through this route. If this INEC have done their due diligence, these things wouldn't have gotten out of Nigeria. It wouldn't. All you needed to advise him, please, this thing you brought here, we can't verify it, return it. You don't have any certificate. Chikina. But because of sentiment or whatever, INEC was just doing I think we don't have any rules, no regulation, nothing, no law. Look at the result. Are you telling me that if INEC have done their due diligence, this would have gotten out of even Abuja self? Nobody would have heard about it. And that is why it is wrong. When you cover things because of sentiment, the ripple effect, you cannot be able to manage it. Wherever Yakubu is now, I'm sure he will be asking himself, what did I do? We are talking of an election you did not conduct properly. We are now talking of a certificate you could not even verify. Look at it. Everything, all the documents that were presented by this particular they were all fraudulent. All of them, there are issues on them. Each one of them. Anywhere else, where did you serve? They even include Adekunle there. Where did you serve your NYSC? Who issued you the certificate? They just do everything anyhow.
All right.
But when they come to other people, they will verify it very well. They will ask you, your name is Tayo, but this Tayo, this T, they didn't write it well. Go and write it well. They sought you, but because they want to make an issue out of it. That was what INEC, look at the result of what he did. Look at the INEC. Thank God you are alive. You are seeing the result. You are seeing the embarrassment. Can this INEC Yakubu, can he travel to US now? Let him go there now.
Why will he not go?
No,
all right, Lagos, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations. Phone lines will be open to you after this break. Stay with us, Lagos. This is 90.3 Voice of the People FM. We'll be right back.
Enugu State government is building a $40 billion economy, among which is the huge International Trade Center. It is the Oji River Industrial Park, the biggest in Africa, located in Ugwoba, few minutes drive to Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Anambra State. Oji River Industrial Park is financed by African Development Bank, International Finance Corporation, American Exim Bank, Bank of Industry, Infrastructure Development Bank, Central Bank, Taj Bank, Sukuk Funds, and Development Bank of Nigeria. It is time to invest. Don't wait. Oji River Industrial Park has over 150,000 shop spaces and business plaza with state-of-the-art security cameras, fire-resistant walls, hospitals, fast foods, recreational centers, steady power supply, residential spaces for workers and business owners. Indeed, it is time to invest. For more inquiries, visit ojiriveric.com.ng or call Anosike on 0813-180-1541. Jude 0903-194-9623. Adigbo 0704-713-0361. Eda Patrick 0816-817-0210. This project is in partnership with Celox Group.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos Airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Yes, you are welcome back. Still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. And this evening on the hot topic, we are addressing Atiku's World Press Conference in reaction to the case that's just been concluded in the United States. And we also had some key points from that conversation where he says, join me in fighting for justice. Atiku begs Obi and Kwankwaso. We also have Atiku calls for protection of elective position after uncovering Tinubu's forged certificates. And I snapped governors Tinubu sent to me after Tinubu sent to beg me after election. I'll not stop fighting until Supreme Court rules. Atiku says so. In another breath, Atiku also did say that, well, I am ready to take any judgment that Supreme Court gives on this matter. And then we also did play you a voice bite of Atiku's counsel where he did say everything that he said concerning the matter. And he did admit and say that from all the documents that they have, including the deposition from the court, that indeed there was a forgery of certificate, there was a personality forgery as it were, and there were lots of stuff. He did say that. And yes, and he also did say that they are hoping that the Supreme Court will do, the needful, because they have been able to fulfill all requirements for the Supreme Court to be able to allow them tender these evidences as, the law stipulates, right? So now we're taking your calls and reactions on it. Mr. Darlington has been on the parley with us, and he's been, giving his 20 cents or 10 cents on the conversation. Phone lines are now open: 0700 903 903 903 and 0700 903 903-9. These are the numbers to call us with. Let's take your thoughts and reactions now. Lagos, hello, good evening. Hello. You cannot come here and keep quiet too. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Lanre Ogundoju.
Lanre, welcome. Emabo. Hey, sorry. How did you say? Chef. Ekabo. Forgive my Yoruba language. The river woman in me will not learn Yoruba fast. Go ahead.
I want to contribute to this.
Go ahead. By all means, please. The floor is open.
See, the only thing I want to say is that Nigeria has constitution. Atiku has done well by doing this thing he has done. But you should remember that Nigeria has constitution. And the constitution simply stipulates that if you want to vie for the position of president, the least requirement is COSAT.
Did he present the COSAT? Oga, calm down. Oga, don't be emotional. Did you see where he presented his COSAT? Did he present his COSAT?
Yes, because I said so.
No, but I am telling you, did the president present his COSAT to INEC? I'm asking you now, did he?
Yes.
No. No, in this particular election, there was no COSAT presentation. Do you understand? I think you need to ask questions. Let's not be driven by emotions. Nobody even likes Wahala in the first place. But according to the documents that are out, there was no school SAT, no primary or secondary school presentation. Do you understand? This certificate now is the one that he presented. So if you were in Atiku's shoes, what would you do? I'm just asking you a question. The idea for radio is to enlighten you, and I'm here to also enlighten you, right? And this is not casting aspersion on anyone at all, because I'm just doing my job. But according to the documents that were made known, that were released by INEC on candidates, there was no primary or secondary school, papers. Oh, goodness me. All right, thank you so much. Okay, let me go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
My name is Jonathan, coming from London.
Jonathan, I appreciate you. Welcome.
Okay, good evening, Barrister Darlington. Fine, sir. My own problem is that if I'm moving around in London now, if I don't talk to anybody now, because before they begin to suspect.
No, Jonathan, it's not that bad now. Oga Jonah, Oga Jonah is not that bad.
Before they turn us to illegitimate people in UK.
I'm sorry about that.
Barrister Darlington, if you have somebody in diaspora, you can't let them tell you their experience. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. Irrespective of how people want to make up this thing. I know that it's even better in Nigeria, but when you are in the midst of either international students or multinationals, even in the place of work, it's not a good thing to talk about. It's not a good thing to talk about. I'm weak. I can't even say anything. I have a good deliberation.
Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay. I'm going back to the phone lines now. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
It's me, Iroko from Ejibo.
Mr. Iroko, welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, mommy. God bless you, man. Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I want to tell Mr. Danintini that God will not kill him. Because all what I want to say, he has said more than what I have in my even experience. So I want to say this again, that this is the high time. All Nigerians, we should not take this issue as a likely issue, because it is an affection to all our image as a Nigerians. I will now tell you this. I'm happy that this come up through the bearer of the owner of the insult. I don't want to say much.
Which one is the bearer of the owner of the insult? Comrade Iroko, oh yeah, come on, be going. Obviously, full your mouth this evening. Bearer of the owner of the insult. Bow. All right, bye. Bearer of the owner of the insult, Bow. Who is the bearer and the owner of the insult? All right, so reacting to what that last person said, apart from the fact that there is no evidence so far, except there is one that I do not know, that the president did tender primary or secondary school certificates or results to INEC for the 2023 election. I'm not talking about any other election, the 2023 election, because that's the election in question, right? Yes. Mr. Darlington, did you know of any? I don't know. Okay, so no, Mr. Darlington, it's not about whether there is none. So I just want to enlighten him again. I'm certain he's listening, that apart from the fact that the president did not tender primary or secondary school certificates, which are basic requirements, by the way, by our law, for you to contest for presidents. You understand?
Hold on, there is. But because they are fake, he cannot tender it. You know that.
Oh, Mr. Darlington, let's forget about that. No, it's okay. I'm just trying to address the issue that he said. He did mention, Mr. Darlington. Mr. Darlington, bottom line is that to INEC, he did not submit such to INEC, and that is why I'm going to yes. So you know the person who called was saying that is a basic requirement, not school sat, right? Meaning that, and he did say, stating as if he knows for sure that the president submitted school sat. And I'm saying now that no.
I'm not surprised that a first class student does not have a...
Oh, Mr. Darlington, forget about that matter. Rest, right? Okay. So, apart from that, remember that section 463 of our constitution, of the criminal code rather, did state that there is a penalty, I think about 3 years of imprisonment for anybody who takes part in forgery. So if you think that, perhaps all is well, how about the fact that it may just be, forgery, which has been established by the cases in the United States? Does that not mean anything to you?
To those who are backing this in, it doesn't mean anything.
Does it not matter?
Precious, nobody will
because of the way the energy at which he called and, was saying. So I thought to ask, so assuming that the school sat was even present, which wasn't, or which isn't, because it's still not there. Right? How about the fact that forgery has been established? What happens to that?
That is, it depends on our court.
Let's be having conscience now. Well, let me go back to my phone lines.
It depends on our court now.
All right. Hello, good evening.
They'll be looking at name and status now.
Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Are you there?
Yeah, it's Chukode.
Oh, Mr. Tony, you're welcome.
Hello.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. You see, sometimes I don't know how to say it. Yeah, and just like what Mr. Darlington, good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
So, yeah, they're fine. No. So the point is that I don't know if you had what these people, the institute was saying, the Chicago University, that people can apply online and demand for something, and there are agencies or there are vendors who are doing it.
Which Ren Omokri is banking on and saying that it's true. But those agencies do not do those things without the approval of the school or without the notice of the schools, do they?
Precious,
sir,
do you know that Nigerian embassy in London, you can't go there and apply for visa? They have an agency that is doing it, and they will take everything to the embassy. So, which means the visa is coming from the embassy. It's not that the visa is coming from that agency.
Absolutely. So that is to say that if this certificate was from those third-party agencies, that means the school would have been aware. The school wouldn't have denied that it's not their own.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. When you apply, there are so many places that if you want to apply things, then they have their agency. They have the people they are working with. Even in Nigeria, the British embassy. You don't go. There are people who are collecting the documents from them there.
But how about the statement? How about the statement from the registrar that says that when they were asked if the stamp and signatures were familiar with that of the school, and he did say that it is not, that it is a Nigerian thing to forge signatures. That won't pay me well.
See that Precious. See what the name of bribe? Who introduced that word bribe?
It's Oyibo. It's not us. So that's explaining me.
Now everything that these people are doing. Now sometimes when I start to talk to the people, everything that they are doing here, they are coming to that place in Africa or anywhere. I use Africa. It's not only in Nigeria. There is a video that I'm watching. I watch is a YouTube. About how this Rwanda plan, the UK have their Rwanda plan, how they uncover the people that are working behind, and one of the man that is working behind is part of the people who committed so many things that that has to do with pollution in Niger Delta. If you see how corrupt these people will come, and at the end of the day they will blame the Africans. Now many people are now. There is something that they do was talking in the morning. Now you find out that all these things, they brought it to us and they don't care because the money that they are getting from all these things, they are making a lot of money.
I appreciate you.
They are making a lot of money. So in as much as people are blaming Tinubu, I am blaming Chicago University 100%. They know, let them go, and because they want to keep their reputation. That's why they are wobbling there. If they dig deep on this, if this has to do with America, and I'm sure FBI will come there with the police and took thousands of files and investigate all of them page by page. No, it's because it has to do with Africa, and that's why they are wobbling to maintain their image and keep on getting students. Apart from that institute could have collapsed if the whole thing is open.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mr. Tony Tukudi. Okay, so interesting tweet. So somebody sent me a tweet here now. A screenshot of Festus Keamo's tweet back in the days reacting to Osun State election, where Festus Keamo was reacting to, I think, Adeleke's purported forged result at that time, right? Where he did say that by the definition of school certificate or its equivalent in Section 318 of the 1999 Constitution, you don't need a WAEC certificate to become president or governor. But if you presented a forged or WAEC or other certificates to INEC for any office, you will be disqualified. All right, let me go back to my phone lines. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Very well, please. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm James. I'm calling from the Gambia.
Mr. James, you're welcome. It's been a long time.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome, sir.
Anyway, let me not waste your time.
Go ahead,
What
sir.
we are experiencing now is just an earth tremor. The real earthquake is coming when the FBI start releasing the information on this guy.
Please, what's your name, sir? Where are you calling?
Thank you very much.
Hell, no, wow. You guys stop now, eh? All right, let me Kukuma read WhatsApp message. Looks like it's a saner place with WhatsApp messages. Simisola from Isolo did say, All right. Greetings to you too. Please help me understand why Mr. Tinubu's legal team were blocking the release of its academic records that brought all this brouhaha. Sincerely, I commend the efforts of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. It's a step on behalf of all patriotic Nigerians, home and abroad, and the diaspora. The propaganda cannot erase the uncovered truth. History will remember every actor, including the judiciary. Thank you. Simisola said so. And this says 8 years is very far. Oh, make una know for those of us who want me person come out. He says one thing I am very sure of is the Supreme Court will not accept new evidence because this na electoral matter. Supreme Court is not where you call witnesses to come and testify. Okay, Supreme Court don't allow evidence. So Supreme Court will not say anything about forgery that is stated in the clearly in our constitution. All right, Precious, I greet you and Ogadalington. Precious, I remember back then in school, whilst filing some papers upon getting admission, there's always a paper which states that if what information you filled in this paper turns out to be false, the school will withdraw your admission certificate. So whether Tinubu graduated or not, the allegations on ground. Okay, I think I lost that message. Let me get back to it. He said the allegations on ground has automatically discredited that certificate. If it were in a saner climb, this would have he probably would have resigned, but you continue to say, Emperor, I cannot read all. But I do hope you understand why I can't. All right. Good evening, Precious. This is the topic of the day. This is what happens when you... Oh, okay. And a good evening, Casey from heaven. Casey, well done. Great heavenly people for us, eh? And then this says, evening, Precious, all about Tinubu personal profile. Atiku is just chasing shadow. Our lawyer, Darlington, will just make Ariwo over the issue. Let the Supreme Court take decision on it. Body from a solo. What is Ariwo Bikono? Help me. What Ariwo is noise, Avi? Okay. All right. Then this says, Madam Precious and Mr. Darlington, good evening. You see from Ijag, it says anarchy looms if arrest and inadequate punishment is not carried out on those involved as regards the certificate forgery, it will grow corruption and anarchy. Our higher institutions will explain tire. Then go tire to explain. All right, I'm going back to the phone lines now. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir. What's your name?
I know that I've been following you and I've been following Darlington. And Darlington can believe anything against Tinubu. Atiku has done a back on media trial. Yeah, and what is worth doing is worth doing well. He came out and hold a press conference without giving us evidence of the certificate. This was that his name is Atiku. Show us evidence. Since you have this tendency to hold a press conference, why couldn't you present the evidence? That is exactly presented. Let the world see it. So you want us to believe what he says. I can't believe, but people like that lady will believe. If the devil is against Tinubu, that lady we are believing. No matter what the devil is against Tinubu, that lady we believe him. That is his trademark. We know him. Continue.
Okay. Thank you very much. Are you done, sir? Oh, okay. I wanted to tell him where to go download it because including the deposition, all the files that Atiku's team got, including the deposition, they're all downloadable. You can go and download it by yourself. And stamped copies of all of them, or not the ones that are not stamped. So you can go and download all of them by yourself and read. And we are not here to give you all of those information. But I appreciate your input. Anyway, excuse me. Hello, good evening. Can you help me? Hello? Unfortunately, we cannot take your call, but let me see if I can do a few more messages. Okay, you see, I've taken your message. And this says, good evening, Madam Precious and Barrister Darlington. My name is Silas from Isolo. Please, Madam Precious, I have an assignment for you and I will pay you 5 million naira if you do it for me. Please help me to interview Professor Wole Soyinka and ask him. Thank you. I know they even finish the message, sir, because I know Professor Wole Soyinka, I know they go that message where he sent me. I know I'll go. And then this says, the man said it is his turn when it was not his turn. So without... Alan Gentle from Ilasamaja, I see your message, but unfortunately I can't read all of it. I hope you understand. And this says, good evening, Ma. APC and those supporting this forgery are all Olodo. No. What did you say here? There's something. Is Ojueje Lo. How do you know? How do you know what he said? You're not reading the message. I'm the one reading it. How do you know? And then he says, I am Bale. You're Yoruba. I went to primary school. So you Bajuels. Oh, what did they say is Bajuel? You Bajuels. All right. He says, okay. So he says, so Nigerians looking for jobs will be grilled, scrutinized, and even background checks via references will be sent out. But the biggest position in the land, it doesn't matter. We cannot do our due diligence. Abi? That's what you said. Okay. Oh. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. So what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Manuel. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Manuel, you're welcome. Go ahead. Very quickly, you're in a noisy place, so you have to help us make it quick.
I just want to comment on this matter.
Be quick, please. Thank you.
All right. And I wonder why that this station is always, controlling by Igbo. All the invitees are Igbos. When Shoma is making news, he only invited Igbo for everything.
That is a very big lie, sir. I will not let you land. I'm sorry I have to cut you at this point. I won't let you land because it's a big lie. The fattest lie of all time. On Tuesday, I interviewed Dr. Deji Omoshola. He is a Yoruba man. A PhD. Ogasa, it's not true. You cannot distribute people's hard work. That's not fair. That's a very unfair thing to do. You don't come here to distribute people's hard work. No way. No way. And what is it with the tribal thing anyway? Is Igbo not Nigeria? Are they not part of this country? I am a Rivers woman. I am not from Igbo. But does that make me lesser in Nigerian than any other person? When will you guys keep this tribal sentiment aside and let's focus on how the country will move forward? I used to bring Mukhtar Mohammed here. Mukhtar is not a Yoruba man. Dr. Deji used to be constantly here. He's not a Yoruba man. Esther interviews different Yoruba lawyers here. They are not Igbo men. What is our problem, for crying out loud? You guys always look for a way to dig in sentiments into conversations, and this is very unfair. People put in hard work. Give me your guest. Bring a guest. Oh yeah, I challenge you. Come to this station for me to challenge you. I mean, I've said it before. I used to invite people from even the APC camp. Most of them don't honor my invitations. The other day, Mr. Darlington, because of what people were complaining about, and they wanted me to go interview the Commissioner for Education. I went to his office to interview him. I wanted to bring him live on air, but he wouldn't oblige me. He wouldn't even oblige me a recording, but he spoke to me. No, calmly. The Commissioner, spoke with me, and I appreciated that. But I wish he could come live. I try my possible. Do you know what it takes to bring a guest to a show, and you come and distribute what people put out there? That's a very unfair thing to do. You can give me anybody from APC. Give me anybody from Yoruba land. I will interview them. Let them sit down here. Let's talk. Let them come here. Let's talk. Don't be telling us why you bring it. It's the person who honors your invitation you will bring. If another person does not honor your invitation, what will you do? Will you go and call Jesus Christ from heaven to come and do the interview? You guys stop now. Abba. Well, hello. Good evening.
Yeah, precious baby.
Don't baby me. I'm not happy. Good evening to you. Welcome. You've started speaking Igbo too. This same Igbo language that is causing problem. Oh yeah, hurry up.
I agree to you.
He's greeting you too. Go ahead, please. Be quick with it. Thank you.
Yes. My name is Udeze.
Udeze, you're
calling
welcome.
From Ijegu.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes. Please, the situation we have find ourselves, and there is something our people used to say. I think Chief Darlington will explain that to you after. How can somebody bring a certificate that you went to social school, and at the end of the day, it's a forgery certificate? Because the school that you claim that you went, they print their own result, and everything is different. This thing is the National Assembly is supposed to by now supposed to be treating this matter. It's supposed to come up because they know the implication of forgery in Nigeria.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let me run through some messages very quickly. Isaac from Isola says, from Ejigbo says, Mr. Darlington has said it all. It is appalling to hear some people defending this illegality or forgery generally. Even Inwerem was impeached because of letter S in his word. Evans Inwerem was impeached because of letter S in his word. Kemi Adonshu, NYC saga, made her resign. I never knew. Okay, all right. I leave it. I will not talk further. Before the I'm always talking about it. Remy from Akoka says, the CSC certificate Tinubu submitted has been confirmed to be forged. That's the bane of the matter. So I don't think there would be another perspective to this revelation, just as there was no other perspective that was entertained after JAMB disassociated themselves from Miss Soma's forged result. JAMB admitted that she indeed wrote the examination or sat for the examination, but they denied giving her the particular results that she was parading. Neither did they authorize any vendor to give her that certificate. So Tinubu's certificate won't stop saturating the press with all sorts of narratives to gaslight Nigerians. Any moment from now, they would send out different respected lawyers and political analysts with the narrative that the evidence isn't admissible. So Nigerians shouldn't expect anything. The media shouldn't allow their space to be used to push falsehood by mischief makers. Let's all stand up. He said, like we stood up for me. So I appreciate you. Remy from Akoka. Remy, I hope you're an Anambra man. Okay. That's just an aside. I have so many messages, so many. Good evening, Precious. Let us start our problem from the INEC and DSS, because if they did their work, we should have arrived this bus stop, because we shouldn't have been where we are today, really, because we would have done their due diligence a long time ago. Austin from Ayobo City sent in that message. And then this says, hello, Precious. How are you doing today? Thank you. I'm not fine. I was fine just now, but people are making me not to be fine. I says, God Almighty bless you for every work you do. Thank you so much. We can now see the meaning of the unrepairable damage. Okay, the legal team was talking about. In fact, kudos to Atiku. Victor from Ijego sent in that message. Victor, appreciate you. Good evening. Precious, why are those people changing the narrative about this certificate issue? Please, Precious, can you call Mr. Ajuri for his view? So Ajuri will not honor. Yeah. He will not honor, and I'm saying it on public radio. If he would honor, I'll put a call across. In fact, Mr. Darlington, I even put a call across to Abike Dabiri, Madam Abike Dabiri, because of the issue that Nigerians were going through in Ethiopia. My messages have not been responded to. So it's not easy to get some of these people to the media to speak with you. So when you see somebody come to the media to talk, please try not to disregard their work. All right. This says it's a pity that both a non-educated and the so-called educated, especially lawyers, lecturers, professors, and others, are defending this certificate fraud issue. What precedents are they setting for younger ones, especially their Nigerian? He said especially their children, that it's okay to have questionable certificates. How is it possible for anyone on earth to say he or she went to primary, secondary, university, and yet can't point out any single classmate? You don't see classmates, then come out. Now two don't come out. Not a single picture evidence to show group pictures. My grandfather died around 97 years of age. It's been almost 8 years ago, and in the house there are still pictures of him and his colleagues, all white, where we schooled and worked at the airport. Even when he was receiving awards, these pictures hung up on the wall of the house. My uncle results from the University of Louisiana has been in the house for more than 40 years. I just went into the parlor to check it hung on the next to his father's awards. What am I trying to say? The records will still be there no matter how long it takes. The CSU should be investigated. They are holding something. They are trying to save their image. That's why they are not coming out fully to divorce the certificate, the records from CSU. Yes, your message is so lengthy. It's so lengthy. If I don't read it now, you especially, you come for me. And it says you can get into any uni with any. Okay, say you can get into uni with any SSCE in Nigeria. It happens. How much more abroad? Some Nigeria people use other certificate to get a job. Or you want to talk about ghost workers? Or perhaps Mr. Darlington can remind you how people use the passport to travel abroad. These same Nigerians did that. That's what you said. Madam Precious, good evening. Thank you for bringing Mr. Darlington, and please help us bring him to your program for objective analysis. Greetings. All right. As far as Nigeria political space is concerned, both Atiku and Tinubu are big fish that their supporters may not know who has benefited more from each other. Even if the friendship ends now, hangers on should steer clear, because the permanent enemy is politics and not, either of them. I guess that's what you're trying to say. And then you said, as far as the Nigerian political space is, okay, so I think I've taken that. Tony and Neil, I appreciate you. I have too many messages. I'm trying to see if I can run through them very, very quickly and then attend to the calls, because the calls are also coming in their numbers. And then this says, good evening, Precious and Darlington. Any foundation that was laid in falsehood cannot stand a test of time. Okay, the president has brought shame to Nigeria both at home and abroad. Please, the president should, Prince Ayotek sent in that message. And then he says, CSU have made it clear that Mr. Tinubu's certificate is clearly not from them, which is fake. If the third party was approved by CSU, then CSU must stand by its service provider. Victor sent in that message from the USA. And then he says, no matter what people are talking, Atiku is God's sent. Why? Because Court and INEC are talking only about Tinubu winning with 8 million people, while Atiku and P2B are following him with 6 million each. Not the certificate issue. The Supreme Court will rule on what appeal court ruled. So Nigerians will continue to thank Atiku, and may God bless us. From Jude Okota. Jude, are you serious? Okay. Good evening, Precious. And my name is Chukudi. How about the school program where a student becomes a governor for a day or so? Can it be introduced in presidential level to save the image of Nigeria internationally? Who students you won't come bring for one day? Good evening, Precious. I'm asking all the Nigerians to join hands in one voice and action. Let's okay, I'm not gonna say this, and let him know. I'm not gonna read this. Chukujiku. I will not read that. I hope you understand. And this is, this certificate forgery saga is just earthquake, after which a tsunami will follow suit. Our judges. And then this says, if a Mesama can be punished for forgery, please, what example are our leaders setting? And then you said a lot about that. Okay, I appreciate you. Let me run back to my phone lines now. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. I hope you understand. And this is the certificate for this second. Okay. Are you ready to talk to me? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you for joining us.
Precious, good evening. I greet you. Bros, I greet you. Good evening, sir.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes.
What's your name, sir, and where are you calling from?
Okay, this is Tony. I'm calling from Cape Town.
Okay, welcome, Tony. Go ahead.
Just want to say, I beg pardon me to speak pidgin English.
Go ahead.
You know, what's the killers for this country? Not tribalism. Because there's a guy that called before that was talking about like not only Igbo people they come for your program, you understand, and that is what is still killing us in this country, in this in Nigeria, you understand. So until we get our asses together, and I believe that now that time our country will move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, so for those requesting for the number to call on YouTube is 0700 903 903 903. That's a direct line, or you call the WhatsApp line. The WhatsApp line is 07. The number is also on the screen there. You can see it now just by our image. So if you're watching on YouTube, the number is just by our image, the telephone direct one and the WhatsApp number. You can call either of them. Call the other one via WhatsApp and call the other one through direct call. I hope it's clear. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Hello? Good
yes,
evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. You're welcome. Go ahead. Sir, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Oscar. I'm calling from Badagry.
Oscar, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes. This certificate issue will not be laid to rest as soon as I'm trying to figure out some of this certificate issue tomorrow, and I don't know. But what I want to let people understand, opinion mothers, all air personnel, whoever that really want to share his view. This certificate issue if this case happened in America, can the evidence be Nigeria and seriously the Nigeria court will receive it wholeheartedly? That is one of my questions. And another thing is the way the Supreme Court has played their role in Nigeria is quite different from the way other clients. If it's South Africa now, the Supreme Court, I will be hopeful they to investigate all the discrepancies and try to unravel some of the mistakes. Then I will know the judgment will be fair. But in Nigeria Supreme Court, I'm not too hopeful because if new evidence turned in, then what about the decided cases before? That is the burden of proof. You prove beyond reasonable doubt, over and above, beyond all reasonable doubt. That is the legal calculation. That is the legal calculus. They call it techniques. How can they prove it? Because when you cite section in the Constitution, you have to cite a section in Evidence Act. You have to cite a section in the Electoral Act. Then narrow it down to the purview of the law. You see? The decided cases like JSCSO as it then was, then Justice Okuta as it then was, those are decided cases. You cross-check them to conclude if the evidence, new evidence that is tendered in can be admissible in the law. It's a big case. I just want Nigeria to keep their finger across. Wait for the next 4 years. Then we use this as a campaign against the man. Then we boot him out. That is all I have to say.
Okay, so we should wait for the next 4 years and use this as a campaign. All right, Mr. Darlington, you want to react to that?
In those cases he's talking about, there was no new evidence that was brought before the Supreme Court before they ruled. That is what we are saying.
But there has been cases where new evidence were brought before the Supreme Court before they ruled.
Even the last before the last two CJN or Noge, he said it. He made it clear. And there are conditions. If you meet that condition,
which is exactly what Carlo just stated, and he is a lawyer, so he understands what the law, what the position of the law is.
US, when what's it called? When Atiku wanted to appeal, they asked him to meet the conditions. Remember, the judge asked him to meet, and when he made those conditions, that was when Judge Maldonado now said yes, that Atiku made the condition and they should release this document to him. That was clear. So if they have made the condition required by our own Supreme Court, why would they look at it? The law is there already. It's there.
All right. So let me take a few more messages. My message box is full, so full. All right. Maybe I take a few more calls too before I go there. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Are you here? Good evening. Hello. For some reasons you can't hear me. This says, good evening, Precious and Darlington. If Mesoma can be punished, please, what example did our leader setting the consequences of this evil that they have committed? I'm a Yoruba woman from Mushi, Mary by name. Mary, you get to tell me where you're from to avoid trouble, Abi. All right. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Precious.
Hey, AY. Is it Chicago now? Mary, AY from Maryland. How can I forget? AY, how are you? It's been a long time.
Maryland. How are you doing today, man?
I'm super. Yeah, I should be. I'm trying to affirm.
Okay. To your guest, good afternoon, sir. It's always a pleasure, when he comes around, because he says that as it is,
Well done, AY.
But today, yes, sir. Today, this past couple of days, it's been really interesting. Again, anytime I call you, I say, every society decides what's the minimum basic standard that is acceptable unto them. Like what are our values? When the young lady called me Summer, for that result.
Her name is Mesoma. Mesoma. It's okay. Yeah. You're calling it like the way I call Yoruba names. I understand. so go ahead.
Yeah, that is true. But when everybody was piling on her, I didn't say anything because I felt And I still feel, what did she do wrong? Please, can somebody tell me exactly what that lady did wrong? She saw an opportunity, and she did what she's copying from the parents, from the adults in the society, from who the society says is worthy of our adoration. That's what he did. So why is everybody on her? She didn't do anything wrong. She's just copying the examples in front of her, because the Nigerian values are things like that are trivial. We don't care about the process as which you got anything. Exactly. Once you get it, once you get it, that's what Nigeria cares about. Exactly. Oh, you say you're a doctor? Oh, everybody in Nigeria will be calling you doctor. Exactly. You are an engineer? Oh yeah, you're an engineer. Everybody will call you engineer. Nobody goes to see the process by which you got said qualification. You see, this transcript of your president has shown this is a culture and of criminality. This is a man used to falsehood. If you read that transcript, and of course, people in the school were working with him, because how can an institution of higher learning see a transcript from Southwest College with female with a social security number that is still valid till today? Yes. We all know who that lady is. She's a doctor. Exactly. And we all know, I'm not going to put her address out there, but we know where our service is. We all know who that woman is.
And we all know that social security numbers cannot be reassigned to someone else. Right?
Sorry, man. What did you say?
I said, and we all know that social security numbers cannot be reassigned to someone else.
It cannot. If you misplace your social security card, I don't even think they'll issue you a new one. They won't. Because that's why they say they don't take it anywhere with you. You keep it in a safe place. You don't need to take it everywhere with you. Social security card is forever. It can never be changed. So if you said you are indeed the Bola A. Tinubu that went to Chicago State, that would mean you committed identity fraud. That's it. If you say you are that person, that means you're a fraudster. Because you said you are a U.S. citizen. Exactly. With that social security number. That means if that is true, you perjured yourself in your declaration to INEC. Exactly. That says you do not have multiple citizenships.
He listened to me. Yes, he listened to me. Exactly.
So guys, let's stop beating around the bush or saying, oh, the school said the grad. The school said they cannot verify the same person that is bearing Bola A. Tinubu is the same person that is in Aso Rock. The school, the registrar of CSU said that on that oath. Go read the transcript. I'm not making that up. So who is this man? Is he the person? Because if he's the person, he should be arrested by now for forgery.
Oh yeah, AY.
You cannot be a US citizen and come and be the president of Nigeria. Which one are you?
All right, I appreciate it.
Nigerians, please, for the sake of if you want there to be a country, you need to take it back from the criminals and the cartel that have.
AY, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm sure you do know why I probably may not let you land in this conversation. Of course, I did listen to him. I listened to him clearly. So I appreciate you, AY. Thank you very much. But please, you shouldn't use, offensive words on people, right? Please. All right, I read some more messages now because this says, Precious, why did CSU went on to agree that Tinubu attended the school and still issued certificates to him after discovering that he compromised his SSC? I think they should have withdrawn back the certificate. Ayan Chuku sent in that message. Good evening, Precious and Darlating. At last, through Atiku, God of all nations, who is also God of suffering, crying and dying, poor, helpless and defenseless Nigerians, he has come to save Nigeria from the hands of oppressors. Thank you. Babeji from Oshodi. I will not finish your message. I'm sorry. Good evening, Madam Precious. My name is Nemega from Ejibo. Anybody who is defending this shame have come again, have to come again, please. We should not forget that anybody who is clapping for his loved one that is naked in public dance, you are worse than, well, I guess as good as mine. Greenish says, is this not how we are all making noise that he never attended and graduated from CSU? Now you're chasing another shadow. So you people think Bat is Momo, like, hey, Mr. Darlington, don't give your pakoto. I don't know how it's difficult to know that the certificate he provided is a ceremonial certificate which we cannot be obtained through which can be obtained through the third party. You see, I'm tired of correcting this. So we have said over and over again. Did you listen to the deposition? The school registrar said that they never even issued any certificate. That first of all, the president did not apply for a reissuance, and even the initial one, there is no evidence, there is no space, there is nothing to show that he applied for the initial certificate. Did you read that? Shebi, you go first of all get first certificate, that one can't lost before you can't reapply for issue when you lost that one. There was no application before. Do you understand? Why do we choose to hear what we want to hear alone? I mean, we don't want to be on the side of the truth. That's what you said. And then how can the same school who gave you the opportunity to go to a third party to get a certificate now deny the third party certificate and say that this certificate does not belong to us? We don't know where it is. We don't know how it happened. How can the same school do that? I mean, you gave a vendor a right to do something on your behalf, and you're denying the vendor. Does it even make sense to us?
Like that, Tinubu should have gone to the vendor.
Yes, and the lawyer should have defended that vehemently there during the deposition. The lawyer should have said no. It is our right, that is our client's right to have gotten or reissued the certificate by a vendor, and this is a law. And that why did the lawyers not react to it? Ngwa, tell me. Why did the lawyers not react?
There was no certificate.
Why did the lawyers not react? Why are you people like this now? Greenish. Well, let me finish reading your message so that your mind will rest. Oh yeah, let me finish it. So you said, and speaking of middle name, not all of us have one. Ahmed or Adekunle is not a first name. His name is Bola first. His first name, Tinubu last name, and in other one can be middle name. The certificate is not forged. Is English that hard? The ceremonial certificate can be customized. You're following. I'm sure you have read too much of Reno Mokri's posts. You have read Reno Mokri has brew. Reno Mokri have attended to you guys very well. You read too much of his posts. That's why. So please, you guys just call a spade. All right. Okay. So a few more messages here. This says, Precious, this is not the first time Tinubu will be in this situation. In 1999, Gani Fawemi challenged him on this certificate matter, but Tinubu still went ahead and won his second term despite Obasanjo antagonism, and he got ahead and led the opposition to defeat the ruling party. And then you said, my messages are pouring like water. Tinubu may not be a saint, but he was favored like David to always win all his battles. Go and check all his records. I know this will not be different. Olu from Badagry, I do really appreciate you. You have, but we're talking about the image of the country here. I hope that when you travel tomorrow and they accuse you as a thief or anything, you'll not feel bad, right? It doesn't matter. So just like what Atiku Abubakar stated in his statement, let our leaders begin to behave in such a way that they know that their actions or inactions can affect the image of Nigeria and Nigerians, both those living in Nigeria and abroad. And I hope that if someone else had done this, you can also defend it in future. I'll save this message for you. God will keep all of us alive. Let somebody else do this, and let's hope that you will also defend it. Olu from Badagry, I remember your name very well, and I'll remember it when the time comes. All right, so this says, good evening, Precious. The man in your studio is a noisemaker. Hey, chasing shadow. He's an enemy of Tinubu and his government. Mr. Darlington has never seen anything good in Tinubu. He doesn't see anything good in his government and policies. All right, that's what he said. And then Silas from Isolo says, National University Commission NUC should introduce certificate forgery 101 as a new course in higher institutions in Nigeria. If someone doesn't resign, okay, All right. And then this says, Precious, who owns the certificate between the president and the presidency? Because I know that the president is one man, while the presidency is a group of people. So let the owner speak up and defend himself. Destiny from Moshe sent in that message. And messages applying to you. And this says, good evening, pretty Precious. Thank you for taking over the name from Mr. Darlington. I greet you and Mr. Darlington. More grace to your elbow for the good work that you're doing. I want to say that truth cannot be covered for long. Afoime adi kuchi ayaka. What does that mean? Okay, all right. Ina says thanks. Ina from Ikeja sent in that. Okay, all right. And then this says, evening Precious, correction on the issue of the governor of Imo State. The governor included the evidence from the first court to the Supreme Court. He did not introduce any new evidence in Supreme Court. Go and check back that case again. Go and check back that. You yourself Google it too. As you're telling me Google it too. There was a point where the Supreme Court even had to explain why they accepted new evidences for him. And the Supreme Court explained that. So
one of the Supreme Court judges who gave a minority judgment concerning Imo State, he criticized that judgment. By the way, how can number 4 become number 1? The same thing they're saying about Peter Bina.
All right, so moving forward with that message, it says on the issue of Nigerians and forgery, it is true most of our Nigerians forge our age and lie about our document. I could remember in the 80s, people used another person's passport to travel. But is it even fair? If you think all Nigerians are doing it, should that be fair? And is it a good thing that people that we have in revered positions are doing it? So if there are people who forge in the US, who told the Americans don't forge? Who told you other countries don't forge? But should that be fair? That's what we're saying.
But did they get away with it?
Is it morally okay? Is it morally right? Is it morally right? Please answer me, and I would really do look forward to your response. So INEC don't have any time to verify documents given to them. It's really a shame. That's what this person says. And then this says, Precious and Darlington, the DSS was quick to take over the little Miss Omar's case. The National Assembly waded in to invite the little girl for questioning. All this is internal. Now, the face of Nigeria is fraudulently parading. Is in disrepute, and the National Assembly and the DSS is quiet about it. Wow, Supreme Court up next to drama everywhere. Casey from heaven. All right, and then he says, Precious and Mr. Darlington, bonsoir. Oji Carlo from Benin Republic. He said, I am happy it was not P2B that exposed this Tinubu AP certificate issue. If not, by now, all Igbo people in Lagos and some part of Nigeria would have been burning down and killings. But no, now, rich like that. Now, calm down. And then this is Auntie Precious. Good evening. My name is Ekele from Agege. In this case of certificate saga, no hiding place. Forge and also ready to catch up. You should okay. Well, you said a lot. I can appreciate you. Thank you so much. And then he says, Precious, you said I would come for you if you don't read my message before. Uncle, you used to come for me now. You try today, Sha. Make a clap for you. No clap for me. And it's no clap. I don't want to clap. Also, and he said also the VOP app keeps showing offline when I try to use it. I'm so sorry. I think we're having challenges with that app. Sorry, but you can join YouTube. This says Nigerian Constitution allow cheating, stealing, find your way or rigging to government office. Is not true. That is not true. Binadu from Dimo. That's not true.
Is that?
That's not true. I just did tell you that forgery alone attracts 3 years imprisonment by the criminal code, and it is in section 463 of the criminal code. Go and check it out by yourself. I feel like I don't forget. I tell you, I said I be criminologist before, so I suppose I know that part of the law. So yes, and is also in the penal code. The penal code even stipulates 10 years imprisonment for forgery, and you should know those are the 2 codes that has to do with criminality we use in Nigeria. Be the 2 laws that have to do with crime we deal with in Nigeria. Precious, please, anyone supporting certificate forgery should be brought out to the public scrutiny. You say they may be some of the same. Atiku's revelations must save Nigeria's political future because it must have sent jitters down the spines of some elements who have the tendencies of cutting corners in Nigeria. And then you said, I repeat that our criminal code is only meant for lesser morals and not against high-profile elites in politics. So there are lesser morals and high morals. Anili, I appreciate you, Miss Anili from Ijegemo. And then this says, good evening, Precious. Dear Madam Precious, the next time someone calls you and says that only Igbo people that call in this program, please tell them that you will create 3 more phone lines, one each for the three major languages, the 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria. That way there will be equity. People will not finish me, honestly. Good evening, Precious. Mr. Darlington, I salute you. Precious, so did you notice that the man from Cape Town ended up speaking Queen's English? Just rewatching Atiku with a popcorn made from what? Agbado. And listening to you and Mr. Darlington. Kindly remind Remy in diaspora to help with his social plays. Okay, Remy, somebody wants to get your social media handle. You guys are doing well. I don't have time to say so much. I appreciate you. Please don't say your mind. That mind you have, please keep it. Keep the mind. And then this says, all the boasting of the supporters have fallen woefully, who see as master political tactics, but unfortunately God proved him through the... Okay, Chinedu from Badagry, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And this says, good evening, Precious. And Mr. Darlington, those people attacking you are continue your good work, Joe. Welcome to New Nation. I attended Unifam, University of Pharma. No, Chicago. Why are you doing like this now? Mr. Ola from Chicago. Is Mr. Ola your friend or Mr. Darlington? Mr. Ola. And then he says he's from Chicago and he's there in Chicago. And he says if anyone, so some people are already even talking on the streets of social media, maybe because Chicago is predominantly black, it's largely populated by blacks, that perhaps that's why, we're having this happen in Chicago State University. I'm like, So anywhere black man did now that they find bats in one that they talk about. This is not fair at all. All right, Lagos. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to continue with your messages. Time is already running. After this break,
time to read their message now. They will not talk.
Industrial Park is not n'ime ya. Ojiriva Industrial Park bụkwara pụrụ iche. Gọọmenti steeti Enugu chọrọ iji kwalite akụnụba n'ala Igbo. Ọ bụ ndị Sellers Group na-arụ ahịa bụkwa nke ga-abụ ọkaibe na mba Afrịka gbaa gburugburu. Ọ bụ n'ugwu ọba bụkwa nke dị nso na Nnamdi Azikiwe University Ọka ka a ga-arụ ya. Ọ ga-abụ ahịa ihe niile ga-anọ n'otu ebe, matakwa na a ga-ebuli ọdụ ụgbọelu Akanibiam International Airport Enugu bụkwa nke ga-eme ka ngwa ahịa na-esi na mba ofesi na-abata ma na-apụkwa. Ndị ji ego na-akwado ụlọ ahịa gụnyere African Development Bank, International Finance Corporation, American Exim Bank, Bank of Industry, Infrastructure Development Bank, Central Bank, Taj Bank, Sukuk Funds, nakwa Development Bank of Nigeria. Maka ịmata ihe ndị ọzọ n'uju, gaa na ojiriva.ic.com.ng maọbụ ga kpọtara nọsị ike na 08131801541, Jude 0903-194-9623, Adigbo 070-471-30361, Elder Patrick 0816-817-0210. Ọ bụ ha na ndị Sellers Group na-arụkọ Ojiriva Industrial Park. Nke a bụ nke anyị.
Tune in, pizza lovers, because something big is happening in Ajao Estate, Lagos. Are you ready for a slice of heaven? Get ready to indulge your taste buds like never before. That's right, folks. Romeo Pizza is opening a sizzling new outlet at 22 Latif Salami Street, Ajao Estate, right next to the famous Global Supermarket. Mark your calendars today for the grand opening this Friday on October the 6th. Is going to be a pizza party like no other. Picture this, just picture this. Mouth-watering cheesy slices, freshly baked in our ovens, just waiting for you to take a bite. And that's not all. We've got special deals, giveaways, and surprises lined up to make your visit unforgettable. Join us at Romeo Pizza on October 6th at 22 Latif Salami Street, Ajao Estate for the pizza event of the year. Don't miss out on the flavor explosion. Romeo Pizza, the secret is in the sauce. Stay tuned for more updates and we'll see you there.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream. Delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, First Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champion.
All right, Lakers, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Our phone lines are still open, taking your thoughts and your reactions on the conversations that we have on hand this evening. My phone lines have been buzzing like something else, non-stop, and I don't even know where to start from. My messages are also full, but let me just go hail my people on YouTube. I'll just call your names. Your messages are on a no say on a need to get filter. So I cannot read all your messages, right? And this says, okay, I didn't quite get your name. Mr. Darlington is good to be happy. Precious, please, can you try and, okay, I should try and learn Igbo, all right? Thank you. I'll do my best. I speak Igbo now. I'm a soulful man now. What is all that? Mr. Darlington, do I not speak well? Eh?
You are trying.
I speak Ofuma now.
You are trying until you drink Igbo water.
No, really Igbo water. Okay, okay. The surplus, okay, says Mr. Darlington, good evening, sir. Okay, and the surplus link, I see you. Don Smith, I see you. And Fisayo Magic Kudumi, I see you. Prof. Data O, we see you. Ola Adewale on YouTube, we see you too. You said, Buga, how will Nigeria stop the socio-economic runway train let loose by the career? He said something about the politicians. I'm sorry, I'll not read it. Maintain man, I see you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you on YouTube. Thank you so much. Max Remy, Obi, all of you. I appreciate you. But let me just run to my phone lines now because my messages are so much. Phone calls are also very much. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening. President.
Yes, good evening, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Koma from Ajagula.
You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, all I have to say in this matter is any Nigerian, any human being that has blood running in his or her veins, they will always defend evil. Evil will not depart in their family. Thank you.
Iwe. Come on, a serious prayer. You pray like this. Oga, calm down now. No vex. All right. Tunde from Ijegu says, all of you just reading transcript to suit your narration. How does it make sense that you graduated in flying colors and went ahead to forge it? Make on a play or gonna go explain evidence. Gonna go explain that you know evidence. Flying colors, it was 3.0 CGPA that we saw. Abi, did you see something different from the CGPA? Maybe it's not me. But Tunde from Ijegu, appreciate you. Tunde, go again and read this transcript. This time, cool down. Jack it like you want to write the examination and read to understand. And let's leave whatever sentiments we have aside, right? Please, when is Supreme Court giving judgment? I don't know. They don't go sit down first before they give judgment. The CSC said Tinubu forged a certificate he submitted to INEC does not come up in any place in CSU registrar's depositions. The registrar said CSU, as a matter of policy, does not issue replacement diploma. What you read there was what you read was the paper, the response they gave to the papers, the subpoenas. Do you understand? What you read? I don't know if you know that, Mr. That first document that came out. That was so the deposit. Yes. So the main issue is what they said on that oath, and that's the deposition. The one that they say, I swear that every information that I give is the truth and nothing but the truth. Everything that the registrar said there, and including what is contained in the document that they handed over to Atiku's team. Do you understand? In their response, they said that they don't keep students' record. Yes, that is said in their response. Yes, they said that. But that is not to say that they also confirmed that the certificate, that remember that in the deposition, if you read it, I'm tired of explaining, that they asked them that, would you, because they even categorized that particular certificate in question as INEC certificate. Then I said, would you say that this INEC certificates, he say no, from their school? Calm down now, guys.
You push Nigeria that they do this
and so how come the registrar himself also said that it is a normal thing
in Nigeria?
It is a normal thing in Nigeria to forge stamps and signatures.
Hey.
And I keep asking, for those who said that it is third-party vendors that issued, a third party that is approved by the school will issue a certificate on behalf of a school and forget that the person who is signing that certificate is someone who joined the school 19 years after the person that they are signing the certificate for has graduated. And they will not know. So if you're doing something on behalf of the school, you will not follow their protocol. You don't know who is in charge at that time. At each time, the school did not give you proper information as somebody who is their vendor. You guys now, let's just read to understand
the woman
now.
even want to sue Tinubu now. As we speak, the woman is threatening to go to court. How would they defend that?
Okay. All right. And then you went on to say that he categorically stated that when it is a replacement diploma, it is only done by third-party vendors, and that he went ahead to say that diploma is merely ceremonial, which doesn't place any official significance. Upon all honesty, this is not a peculiar, is not peculiar to CSU. I have already answered this, your matter. So you go back again to read and understand. He said, forgery exists only in the figment of imagination of those who disputed. Are you serious? In the figment of the imagination of those who desperately wish there is any, and those that have sworn in mischievously having forgery. Yeah, forgery exists, and against any facts or contrary. Okay, all right. Good evening, Precious and Barrister Darlington. President has brought Nigeria to the biggest. Francis from Ago Palace, appreciate your message. Thank you. I'm not going to read further. Pray right now, and I sit down look I did because I don't want you to read my message halfway. No, I belong to Listener Association. Felix from Ejibu, thank you for understanding that I'll read your message halfway. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Hello, Precious and Darlington. Nigerian politicians have subjected people to abject poverty. So, situation has forged people in politicians to be hypocrites just to survive. Even some of the media houses are afraid not to be fined by sanctioned by. Well, you said a lot. I'm sorry, and you wrote in caps, and it's so not easy reading messages in caps. Mr. Darlington, I have to read a message from your friend Magic Kudumi. He says that, good evening, Madam Precious. How I wish to call you, but line is not through. Mr. Darlington is just making unnecessary noise and chasing shadow. Whether he likes it or not, Bola Tinubu will complete his 4 years. To me, I will not appreciate Atiku for anything, because Atiku is only fighting for his political ambition and nothing more. He's looking for a way for Tinubu to be disqualified so that he can become the president, being the second president in election. That's his purpose for chasing Tinubu certificate all about. Whenever my phone is in order to call, I will talk about the statement of the guy that said you always invite Igbos. Really, the man doesn't know how to put it right. He shouldn't have said you're inviting only Igbos, because I remember Mr. DJ and other men, even though they are Labour Party fans and members are not in support of Tinubu. Bring me somebody that is in support of the president now. I will interview the person.
Please,
I am not scared.
In particular, you have invited him.
I told you to come to the studio. I will interview you. Come.
If you have
come and sit down. I will ask you questions and you answer me. You don't do that hard.
Come and meet me here.
Come and sit down now. Let's talk. In fact, I actually like it when we have people when we can tackle the question from all angles. It serves well.
Don't come alone, no. Tigboto, you can come 3 or 4. I'm here.
It says, anytime I have, it says, I've been listening to the program over some days now, but I couldn't send message because of my hair. Oh, sorry about your health condition. Please get well. Please get well.
They didn't let us talk until this man messed up Nigeria and left.
All right, so this says, good evening, Precious and Darlington. Precious, please, I've told you to make noise for Atiku, but Precious, have you seen what one man have caused to the entire country? You said a lot, and I beg to take a break from there. And then more messages there. All right, so this says, good evening, Precious. The argument is clear that Chicago State stated the documents Tinubu submitted to INEC not emanate from the Chicago University, and this one evidence is enough for Supreme Court to disqualify anybody. Leo from Lagos, he said the certificate saga is not about Atiku but about Nigeria. And then this says, good evening, my sister. My name is Kunle Major from Festac Town. Please, why is Oga Tinubu now? Please answer me. Are you serious? Okay.
Are you his PA?
No, you won't know whether maybe I be. I don't want to say what I have to say on public radio. Don't worry about it. No, he's not. He's your president. So take it that he is your president. All right. So Imam from Festac says one of the president's ministers made statements saying that the president had the right to design his certificate anyhow
yes,
he pleases, due to the fact that he can use a third party. I was wondering when didn't they help him draw Superman? the elections brought. I beg, I'm tired. You guys, I'm tired. Let me go back to phone. I don't know where is safe now in this conversation. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Can you help me speak up? Good evening, please. Welcome.
Okay. Good evening.
Yes, you're welcome. Go ahead, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Sorry?
Salute all of you. You see, the problem these people are having is tribalism. When your brother steals, you decided to help him. You said that what he did is good. You can see, I have a brother in US. What he told me that they are passing through because of this very matter of forged certificate. It is very, very bad that somebody will be saying that what Tinubu did is good. I'm trying to find out whether if somebody that forged certificate, is it not a crime? And when somebody commits such offense, I think the person is supposed to be punished. I am looking onto Nigerian Bar Association, the lawyers. I thought they will rise up against this man for what he has done. But up till now, everybody kept quiet. Nigerian army officers, police, and every other people, they just kept quiet. Nobody can get up and arrest this man and penalize him for the offense he has committed. This is very, very shameful to this nation. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Precious.
Mr. Darlington, just wrap up.
Remember in South Africa, Jacob Zuma, just for overspending his budget, $16 million, his own party, ANC, they drag him out of office. We saw it. The police in South Africa, his fellow black, they went to drag him out of office and prosecuted him for that. And you say we want to grow. How can we grow with this type of thing? How? Look at where we are as a nation, a giant of Africa. Precious, have you seen have you seen where your dollar is in the market?
I change dollar almost every day, so I know. So your final thoughts, please.
Everything about our economy, it has affected it. Look at the so-called investors. Is it here that they are coming?
All right.
Will they come?
Udom says, he hopes I eat before coming to the studio to avoid fainting. I won't faint like this now. Wait to make me one wrong go. You people, your upper cut and lower cut you give to me is too much. I'm tired. All right, Lagos, that's the size of our conversation today. Thank you to everyone who's made this possible. I appreciate you a whole lot. My name is Precious Enyi. Hopefully tomorrow is another day for us to have another conversation, and hopefully a great conversation. Catch me across all social media platforms. Follow the station first of all at VOP 903 FM across the social media platforms. On Instagram, I'm at Precious Enyi Official. Twitter, Precious_Enyi. YouTube, I am at Precious Enyi TV on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow, Lagos. Have yourself an amazing evening. Good night.